Okay, so we come down here. We had to go film a commercial real quick, so we got that done. Now I actually get to go deer hunting. So we're gonna run back to the truck, pick up the guns, our orange, grunt calls, all that good stuff, and then we'll be in the stand by about 1:30, maybe 2 o'clock. We're gonna get him tonight, man. Been hunting all season, and my deer have disappeared, so we came down to the farm. We're gonna get him tonight.
O'Neill Outside is presented by CVA. It's just a better gun. First afternoon, and Travis is heading to a reliable food plot. He's been successful here before and taken a couple of nice bucks. But the first few hours are not promising. He sees a gang of turkeys and a few does. That's all the action Travis has on this wet November day. His second day of hunting is not much better. The morning hunt was not productive, so he moved to a new location for the afternoon, getting to the stand by 2:30. He sees more turkeys, but still no deer. At least Travis is taking this more relaxed hunt in stride.
Hard to shoot a deer like that.
Sometimes you just gotta take a break. Kick back, relax, enjoy yourself.
O'Neill Outside is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops, your local Toyota dealer, Rockwell Tools, the Whitetail Institute of North America, the Game Saver Food Saver, Real Tree Camo, Bojangles, and KONUS Optics. Sometimes hunting is just slow. That's what Travis is experiencing on this late November Georgia hunt. This property has produced good bucks in the past, so Travis knows what's out there. The problem is, he only has a few days allotted for this trip.
We're kind of leaving it down to the wire here. This is the last day I'm going to be able to be down here. To be honest with you, it's been rough. We saw a little buck last night, but we changed it up. Decided to come and try one more stand that hadn't been hunted, hadn't had too much pressure on it. It's got the same food plot seed planted out here. It's Whitetail Institute Imperial Clover. Now, the reason we use so much of that is because it's been designed for deer. It's high protein, it's really nutrition year round. And according to the lunar chart today, this afternoon, the best time is about 20 minutes after dark. But we just saw our first doe. I've hunted here before on this food plot, and I took a 10-pointer right out here a couple years ago. It's kind of the ace in the hole. I just couldn't come down here without coming back here. So, we're already seeing a little bit of action. Hopefully the lunar chart is wrong. And right now we can't shoot does. We don't have, we changed up the doe days this year in the state of Georgia, so you can't shoot does. It has to be a buck. And it's gonna have to be a good one, so come down to the wire. From the past, I like doing this. I like waiting till the last minute to get it done, so hopefully I can maintain my streak. Let's see where she went. Where'd she go?
Maybe Travis's patience is paying off. Late in the day, a tall 8-point buck enters the far end of the food plot. The problem is, that buck is grazing just over the crown of the hill, and he's keeping his head down much of the time. He's not giving Travis much of a shot. The pressure is on. And please forgive the shaky camera. It's the best we could get given the distance and the awkward angle out of the corner of the shoot house.
We look back at the footage, and I think that was 150, about 150 yard shot. I was ranging it, so with my rangefinder, and he moved a little bit after I shot, so about 145, 150 yard shot with a muzzleloader. I had a good rest and everything, and I think I just pulled. Looking back at the footage, I didn't, couldn't see an impact, didn't see, any wound when he stopped and he ran off. So, we still got plenty of daylight. There's more deer here, and he may even come back. But, that's just part of hunting. Anybody that tells you they've never missed, they hadn't hunted enough. And, I'm hating it because I know that my cameraman's never going to let me live this down, because this is his first trip with me. We get a big buck to come in finally after 3 days of hunting, and I blow it. So maybe we'll get a shot at redemption, maybe we won't.
Before leaving that afternoon, Travis double-checks that there is no blood trail, and he makes plans to return and hopefully get another shot at that buck.
Let me take a second and answer a question that I get asked, I guess, most often on Facebook and email and the website and so on, and that is, how do I decide what size bullet to use in muzzle loading? If it's a deer, then I'll likely be shooting at 75 to 100, maybe 110 yards, something like that. I will use a 250 grain bullet. That's accurate, I've tested it, that's what I use. Hog hunting is a different story. He's tough, the shot's probably going to be close up, so I'll use a heavy bullet. I want real knockdown power. Lighter bullets for deer hunting, heavier bullets for hog hunting. But in each case, I'll always sight in. You've got to do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring you up to speed real quick. Last week came down here hunting for 2 days. Didn't really see a whole lot of anything. Third day, hunting a stand. 10 minutes to 4, an absolute monster walks out, beautiful deer. I know you just saw it. I missed him. If you can't tell, me and the cameraman were both nervous because we had no idea a deer this big was gonna come out. And so now we're back down here. So a week later, we had a bunch of rain and the bridge is washed out, so I can't get back there to that stand. So I'm going to the closest stand to there because it's a long walk from the bridge. And I don't want to walk through there putting scent down and everything. They're used to the trucks riding around. So I got another stand that's close to it. I'm going to go in there and hopefully he's traveling between those two food plots. Keep your fingers crossed. I'll see you when I get in the stand.
Maybe, just maybe, this second trip will be more productive. Mid-afternoon, and the does are already showing up.
It's like 2:30. A couple of does came out. You know, that's why we put these food plots in. It draws the deer in. It's the right amount of nutrition. It's year-round. And where the does are, it's where the bucks have got to be around there somewhere. So, and it's good for other stuff. It's good for turkeys and, you know, squirrels and rabbits, everything. All your wildlife on your property benefit from having a good food plot. This Whitetail Institute, they take the time to make sure that the seed that they produce is going to be a good quality for the wildlife. So we're going to hang tight. It's still early in the afternoon, and hopefully they'll come out. We will see what happens.
As the afternoon progresses, more and more deer visit the food plot. Even a buck or two make their way in.
I got deer moving around everywhere right now. But we got one 8-pointer that's come out in the food plot. He came out across the creek. It's still early. I'm looking at him, and he's just not. He's not quite there. He's a decent deer. But for this place, he's just not quite there. We want to, you know, we're managing this property. Been managing it for a long time. So, hopefully that deer in the next year or two, maybe even 3 years, he'll be a good deer. He's just not a shooter right now. But there's still time. There's still time. These KONUS binoculars, you can really, you know, size them out. These are 1250s. You can see really good, so. Yeah, I don't think he's a shooter.
Patient Travis sticks around till well after dark, but all he really has to show for it is good video of a really young buck that comes out at last light. Maybe in a few years, but for now, this guy gets to walk. The next morning, Travis moves to yet another stand. He hasn't hunted here in a couple of years, but nearby rubs and scrapes and sightings by the property owner tell him he should give it a try. As usual, when it happens fast.
Here comes a deer, here comes a deer, here comes a deer. Yeah, that's that big 6. Great big wide 6-pointer. Oh yeah, he's gonna come right in here, perfect. Alright, you got him? Yeah. Whew. Been hunting for a week. Hadn't had a shot at anything worth shooting at. And then finally this big management 6-pointer comes in. He's real wide. He's not, you know, we want him gone. And he finally came in. That fifth morning of hunting, spread out over a week or so. I'm gonna go get my deer.
The KONUS tip of the week is about red dot scopes. Now, many of you, like I do, now this is a CVA Apex and I put a shotgun barrel on it with a turkey choke and I use a red dot scope. What is a red dot scope? It's an illuminated red or green dot on the screen. You can bring yourself to target really fast, but there's more applications for the red dot scope than just turkey hunting. Your AR, your pistol, there's several applications for the red dot scope. There is no magnification, and you can bring yourself to the target much, much faster. It's by KONUS. It's a red dot scope, and that's your KONUS tip of the week.
There's more O'Neill Outside coming up. But first, let's thank our sponsors. Year One, Georgia Power, Bug Band Repellent, Solar Bat Signature Sunglasses, Southern Link Wireless, Hodgdon Powder, O'Neill Outside Spices and Seasonings, and ExploreGeorgia.org, the official Georgia tourism and travel site. Now, let's join O'Neill for this week's Big Green Egg Wild Game and Fish recipe.
This even sounds good and it tastes better. It's venison, sausage, and shrimp stew. Now, take a look at this. This is venison, sausage, and onions, and it's cooked, all right? Now, you gotta make a point to you. If you're not a hunter, I do this to finish the hunt. Whatever I take, whatever I kill, whatever I harvest, I use it all. If you're not a hunter and you don't have this, or you can get it from someone, that's okay. You can use other things. You can use pork sausage, whatever you like. White wine, white beans, shrimp. Don't you just love shrimp? Everything eats shrimp, and everything's good with shrimp. Bay leaves, basil, some tomato paste, and chicken broth. You'll have the recipe when you check it out online at O'Neill Outside and on Big Green Egg. Bearing in mind that the sausage is already cooked, then this doesn't take long. At 10 minutes or so, just bring it to a boil and let it simmer a little bit. Mix it real good, and it mixes as it cooks. Now, if you're new to wild game and fish on the Big Green Egg on O'Neill Outside, what we're doing here, we're making the Big Green Egg into an oven by using this convector. We can control the temperature, and I think in one of the other episodes I showed you a great digital thermostat. There it is right there, and it maintains the temperature perfectly for as long as you need for this to be, and in this case it's only about 10 minutes. Venison, sausage, and shrimp stew. Venison, sausage, and shrimp stew. And it is outstanding. Wait till you try some of these things using the Big Green Egg on natural charcoal. It makes a difference. Want the recipe? O'NeillOutside.com, BigGreenEgg.com. Big Green Egg, the ultimate cooking experience. Time for the CVA guest book this week from Dwayne Crump in Camerton, Tennessee, I believe. And he says he enjoys the shows and our hunting trips. And he says, do you plan to take on more hogs in Georgia this year? Well, yes. Hogs are an invasive species. You can hunt year-round, and when you see one in the woods, you need to take him. Better to eat than whitetail if you want to know the truth. And you're serving the community and the landowner by taking the hog. Believe me in that. It's a great sport. It's a great game animal too. If you'd like to be awarded a CVA muzzleloader, go to O'NeillOutside.com, the CVA guest book. Use your comment on the air, CVA will send you the muzzleloader.
After 5 or 6 days of hunting, spread out over 2 weeks, Travis is ready to track down that buck.
I tell you, these power belt bullets, man. These power belt bullets. I mean, I sighted this rifle in because I'm going to Texas. That's why this is my last day hunting. Sighted my rifle in last week at 150 yards. Of course, I wound up having an 80-yard shot, but I sighted in 150 yards to go out west. 150 grains of powder and a 300 grain Aerolite bullet. And
knowing I was coming down here, and I don't know. Still got go right here. Spin him around a little bit. Look at that. Look at that. That is probably the biggest 6-pointer I've ever seen in my entire life. And when you're managing a piece of property, you know, you gotta take, every now and then you gotta take one for the team. And this is an older deer. And we've seen him a couple years in a row. But CVA nitride, 150 grains, a Hodgdon powder, 300 grain airlight bullet, and there you go. First shooter buck. He's got good beam length and everything, but he's just not a trophy deer that we want to keep on the property. So you take these management bucks out, maintain your deer herd. That's awesome. I'm proud of him. Now you get to turn that camera off and you get to start dragging.
Closed captioning for O'Neill Outside is brought to you by Timbuktu Outdoors, making fishing and hunting convenient and ever more successful.